said, you have open area of people competing. What would you guys like to do? If you don't know, I have.
You guys want to fight?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember all the things that were happening. Whatever,
Yeah, so
maybe a fight.
There's a whole bunch of like 1-on-1, 2-on-2 fights going around in these 20-foot pits, and then there's this other big game that you can see. It's people standing on these rocks throwing a giant ball at each other, and you watch
I'll play that.
Someone gets knocked off one of the rocks, and the crowd cheers, and that's what's going on. So, let's see. Actually, Christopher, make a history check, or make just a straight. What is a memory check? How do you do something? Do I remember this? I'll give you history or just a straight wisdom check, whichever one you want to do. Now, with a 12, you swear you've seen this game played before, but you can't totally remember. You know that, or maybe you kind of like heard of a game similar to this that some of the Goliaths played back in your home plane of existence. I like that. You're dodgeball coexists cross dimension. But if you guys want to go walk over there, Carrick is with you and looks a little leery about this after he sees like this ball is obviously heavy that has just been thrown and knocked one of these, a large half orc lady off one of these rocks onto the ground. But you guys can approach that ring. You kind of see some people like in a crowd around it. The 20-foot fight rings are kind of behind them, and the raised benches are up high enough where you can see over all this. But you kind of go and start watching close. And essentially what you see is people throwing this large ball probably about a basketball and a half sized. And they're jumping from rock to rock, throwing it, and it looks like they're trying to knock each other off of the rocks. Last team standing. So you can kind of sit there, watch around, and then another group of 2 teams of 5 go in. And at this time, you guys stick out like a sore thumb, kind of. So at this point, about 4 much younger looking orcs and one dwarf and actually another very scruffy looking human come up and go, "Strangers, you here to play goat ball?"
Yeah, we are. Love goat ball.
Love goat ball. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you real prissy southern types don't know how to play this game. And they're just kind of like shitty kids, just trying to rile up these strangers. Like, hey, tell you what, you want to put some money on this?
Oh yeah.
Bet you we could beat your asses. and they put in.
It's a lot of confidence for a bunch of goons.
make an intimidation check. They look at you, and you are like obviously the person that is dealing with this weather the worst. Like it's probably sitting like, it's not freezing, but probably like 40 degrees tops. Like, I know I said it's snowing. It's about like 33. It's very close to freezing, and you're wearing your paisley coat. I mean, they just kind of laugh like, well, of course we'll be fighting you. And yeah, suddenly they're from Jersey. And they say, "Tell you what, gold's not a big thing here, but we scrounge this up." And they put up like 5 gold and say, "Winner takes all."
I think I laugh and I pull out my pouch and just like search, or I dump it on the table and search for 5 gold pieces.
and their like eyes kind of immediately like light up, and then like become indignant about you being like this other like reverse I'm richer than you, and just like solidifies their view of you as a prissy southerner that works for gold. And they say, "Okay, fine." And you in then? And they just kind of like eye your gold. And so yeah, so you have 5 gold up on this match, and the next match goes, and it goes on for quite a while. You see that a lot of these people will probably play this game a lot, and it's kind of amazing how well they can jump from rock to rock without falling off and heave this ball that you don't totally know how heavy it is, but it's definitely not just a like light foam ball. It is like wrapped in a goat hide. You have no idea what's underneath it. But that next match goes in, and the people walk off, and they all kind of, like the ones that were defeated look sad, but everyone, it's all in good fun. People are like kind of high-fiving and just enjoying this celebration that happens a few times a year. And you guys are then brought up. The impetuous kids kind of like signal to you. They do ask you like, "Where's your 5th?" Because it's a 5-person game.
We are the 5 guys. We are the 4 or 5 guys. We don't.
Is there anyone around that looks like they might want to play?
Make a perception check. There's a lot of people standing around, but like you're looking for someone that looks eager to play. A 10. You find
shit ass rolls out of here.
You find this kind of like, and you guys, like I said, you aren't totally trusted in this. You're definitely outsiders in a community that is quite removed in that. But what you do find is there's the one person you can find is an older man. Like you guys, like Christopher and Thel are in their 40s. This guy's like an old, like full-blooded orc, probably you would say pushing 60, and just is like clapping, but like looks like he used to play this game and really wants to continue playing. But no one's going to invite him onto their team, but because everyone else kind of ignores you. So you can go with 4, or you can invite the old man.
Nope, let's invite the old man. I think that'd be fun.
We'll
What's
call
his
out to
name?
him in Orcish, yeah. Just see if he wants. Hey, buddy, let's. We need an extra. You look like you know what you're doing.
He goes, "Oh, yeah." And he doesn't really say any words, but sees you. He like gives you a thumbs up and just walks over with you and looks at these young kids and like spits on the ground in front of them and looks very excited and cocky, and like that like old man like remembering when they were good at a sport and trying to go out there and be good at a sport again, and it's just gonna hurt themselves. Like anytime I do anything athletic anymore, but now you're 60. Okay. So yeah, you guys are all set up, and the person kind of running the show, kind of a middle-aged dwarven man, says like, "Oh, you guys played goat ball before? You need a little refresher of the rules, or you just want to figure it out on your own?"
We would love a refresher on the rules.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Okay, let me find the page that this is on, because this is actually a game. And every book should be required to have a glossary. Jarl notes, not what we need. Raghead Tribe Camp, not what we need. Devil's End, not what we need. There it is. So, essentially the rules are everyone is standing on these dozen or more platforms, 2 teams of 5. There's logs, there's rocks, there's that. You use this furry, misshapen ball made of stuffed goat hide, and it seems like there's some like core heavy part of it. There's 2 teams that clamber onto the platforms, pass the ball back and forth, and try to knock their opponents off their platforms. The team wins if all its opponents have been knocked off for the game. The ball isn't the only thing you can use to knock people off. Like you could try to infiltrate their space and do that. Higher risk, higher reward. And essentially, to determine the outcome of a goat ball game, each player in the game makes a strength, athletics, or dexterity, acrobatics check, their choice. Add up the totals for each team. The team with the highest total wins. In the event of a tie, the game goes into overtime, and all the players re-roll. So you essentially can pick your things. It'll probably be like a thing of like we'll do like 3 rounds of it. So for best of 3. So first to 2 consecutive or 2 wins. And these guys, you see as this guy's explaining the rules, the other group of kids is jumping up on the rocks, jumping back and forth. And you see they're quite nimble, like go and there's like a log in the middle, like they'll jump up onto the log and pass it and then like throw it back to someone. And that's how it goes. So with that, you guys can all kind of take your places. Carrick goes the furthest one back and just stands there. Going like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, so let's say everyone can take their turn, but describe kind of like what you're doing before you make your roll.
So how do we win again? Sorry.
You win by getting a higher number. So you're gonna make strength, you're gonna make athletics or acrobatics checks, and it'll be your 5 versus their 5. And just they are essentially getting a flat plus 4 to all their rolls. So
I'm gonna find the biggest log and just jump right up on it.
Okay, yeah, there's this big stump that seems, it was probably a like tree that was maybe like 4 feet across. That's just standing like just straight in the center. It's like the in the line of fire for everything. As you jump up there, just for fun, one of the kids like passes you the ball, and as you catch it, this ball weighs like 20 pounds. It's like a 20-pound medicine ball that these kids are just hurling. Maybe not that, maybe like a 10-pound ball. The 20-pound ball is huge. So they give you the ball. They give you guys the ball first to start with it, and then as a thunder peal goes across the sky and it lights up for a second, the game starts. So we'll just roll for them. Or as you guys describe your things, then we'll do all the rolls at the end.
We all have. There's just one ball, or do we have multiple balls?
There's just one ball. So just you guys kind of describe your plan, and then we'll roll. But just because there's one ball, you can knock them off with other means. So
we just it's dodgeball on logs, right?
It's dodgeball on logs and rocks.
All right. And what happens if it falls? Like, what if they?
Well, if it falls, then there's someone on the ground that the
Okay.
guy just comes and tosses it back up.
Cool.
Yeah, if you start and you have the ball, Christopher, a bunch of the other team like puts little fingers on their heads and makes goat noises at you.
I'm gonna just straight up throw it right at him.
Okay, so you just
no strategy.
On your log saying, "Come at me and throw the ball as hard as you can."
Yep.
Okay, so that's your move. Carrot just stands in the back as far away as possible and ducks down. Okay, what do you do, Fel, as Christopher throws the ball as hard as he can?
And it doesn't matter so much getting hit; it's just falling off. That doesn't matter, right? Yeah.
Like this. It's all that we're talking about now is for flavor. It comes down to two sets of rolls. So.
Yeah, I mean, I probably clamber up, not necessarily near, just because I don't want us to like both get knocked off by the same event. So I'm not necessarily near Christopher, and yeah, I don't have a ball, so I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready to maybe like go intercept the ball as it's thrown by someone else and do that. And Felix, what do you do? You're not a strong person, but you're a nimble person and a tricky person. And you guys can use your other skills to maybe get advantage on these rolls. Like you don't have to just rely on that. Like if you wanted to do some sort of spell, you could. So there's that as well. As long as you're like slightly sneaky about it, as long as you're not just like, I shoot this person with lightning.
Or I fucking Misty Step, where I just like straight disappear and reappear someplace else. That's fair.
Misty Step would be a totally fine thing that you could use. And just appear behind someone and push them off. I think you just can't hurt the other people like intentionally. Beyond like pushing, shoving, things like that.
Yeah, I think I will keep that for the next roll. But yes, that's
yeah. So you're just kind of feeling the game out. You're just kind of sitting, playing corner defense, ready for if the ball gets to you to make sure you're not going to get knocked off immediately. Yeah. Okay, you, Felix.
I think I'm just mostly going to be preparing to defend or not get hit. But what I'd like to do is watch for one of their teammates to get knocked off and see if nobody notices them get knocked off, and then disguise self as the person that got knocked off.
Okay. So you do that, and the old guy goes on the full offensive, like jumping between rocks. He's not doing a great job of it. He might but he is like trying. He is
honestly, that guy is nothing but a decoy at this point.
Yeah, he is in the full try hard mode. But he's kind of scrambling around and like kind of like get in position for wherever the ball goes when after Christopher throws it. So everyone roll either an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh my lord.
Let's see. Gotta get Carrick up. Carrick gets a. Oh my lord. Where's that? Okay, he gets a +2 to acrobatics. Okay, so you guys get a total of that. And the old man rolls, he gets a +2 as well. D4 or D20 advanced dice roller. D20 +2 roll. Here's the 14. You guys did pretty well there. The only person that didn't was Felix. So what's the total of that? 22 plus 26 is 48, plus 9 is 47, 57, 77, 77 plus 14 is 91. Yes. So now the other group goes. You guys demolished these dudes in the first round. You guys maybe like the little bit of anger. It's the old man actually, as you throw the ball, like one guy dodges it, but the old man like snags it out of the air and just throws it into the back of the guy's head, and he's knocked off. And kind of like the rest of your kind of defensive stance really works, because after that first bout, the guys kind of get mad. The old man gets knocked off. Felix, you like barely hang on by just by your little bit of nimbleness, because you didn't think the ball was going to be that heavy as it got passed to you. And but you guys win this round, and so at the end, the kids all kind of get up and realize that maybe they are a little outmatched in this situation, and they take it much more serious. You actually see them like kind of huddle up, and then when they come back, they're kind of like breathing a little bit harder and look a little bit more pumped up. So yeah, so round 2, what do you guys do? Old man is living for it. You guys never got this guy's name? His name was just Old Man. Seeing how it worked, Carrick is going to stand back in the corner and just duck down and avoid anything that comes his way until need be.
I'm just showing off my boots and stuff. I'm jumping like...
You're okay. You're
just jumping in place.
I'm just jumping like unnecessarily.
See, I've wondered this though. So you can jump 30 feet in the air, essentially. Does that mean when you like you should have to roll something or take 30 feet of fall damage?
That's
your legs shouldn't be able to just absorb that because of your boots. Like 30 feet in the air is 30 feet in the air. Yeah, so I don't know. I've been thinking about it in my head about making you roll something or take some amount of damage when you jump.
That would be fair.
Okay, as long as you think it's fair, then I'll give it to you.
I can choose whether I want to fall 3 stories each time I need to show off.
Yeah, so like what? At most you take 18 points of damage, which is a fair amount. Maybe it depends. If you're landing in sand, sure, it's fine. If you're landing like on a brick wall.
Right, I think I usually jump onto something big.
Yes, that's what I say. Like if you're just jumping,
less fall damage there, yeah.
Straight up and straight down.
Yeah. For this one, I'm jumping sideways.
Yeah, you're jumping. This is fine. Yeah. This is a long jump. I was more just talking about.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fair equalizer for that.
Yeah, mechanically, I wonder about Misty. So I'm thinking I'm gonna kind of charge at whoever is closest and kind of feint contact and then Misty Step behind somebody further back. But does momentum carry through Misty Step? Like
no, you end up exactly where you are, like 0 momentum. Like you can choose. Like what you would do is you would say you were like I was jumping and then I'm going to choose. Like that's how I roll. You choose if you just stop on the spot or you like continue like being able to run. It's not going to change your momentum too much, and it's not like you're going to miss
out of control or anything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like look like shoulder charge at this front guy, and then right as we're about to make contact, possibly enough that he might overcompensate, chair pull out from under him, and then Misty Step behind and push one of the other guys in the back.
Okay, perfect. So I'll let you make your check with advantage because you're expending resources. And I like that idea of just like almost like disappearing behind where the ball actually went and just like clubbing a guy on the side of the head with it. Yep. And Felix, what are you doing?
Did everyone see the guy get hit in the head and knocked out or knocked down or whatever?
Yeah, we'll say like during this, like no matter what, like with that Misty step, it's going to knock one of the guys down unless, like, I'll just say because you're going to beat them in one capacity, and you're able to do your plan, and I'll let you have advantage on your rolls. Like where he gets knocked down, you like almost jump to where he was in front of Thel and like change into him and make it look like you had just dodged this amazing move by Thel. So you have this good deception roll going on. Is your deception higher than your acrobatics?
My deception.
Because I'll either.
It is.
It is. So I'll let you roll with deception for this instead of acrobatics. Is that
Okay?
About that, or do you want advantage on your acrobatics?
Probably advantage.
Okay, we'll give you advantage. I think either makes sense. So, yeah. So everyone roll their rolls. The old man is doing exactly what he was before, just jumping around, having a good old time. He's like giving like that old like, like prospector type. Okay.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Okay, 26-15. So we need one for Carrick, who's going to get a. Oh. 11, not great, and then we'll get old man gets a 1d20 plus 2 because he's old man. Oh, old man. Old man living his best life. Okay, however,
Nobody's wanted to play with him in years. He's just fucking excited.
He is a walk-on. He's like the walk-ons.
Guys,
the replacements.
I have to write down old man has officially, with that 19, got an official backstory now. Old man backstory. He is going to be a named NPC now. Let's see. However, these kids come out going hard. So what we have 30, 56, 67, 79 is what we got. So they're all going to roll. Oh my lord. Oh,
right.
No, each one of those gets +7, so it should be +7 times. Like it's still going to lose, but +7 times 5 is 35. So add 28 to that is it's actually closer. What is 44 plus 28? 20 71 72.
Sounds
Yeah,
right.
72. And you guys had what? 30 76. Yeah, you guys, this was a much closer round actually. But all of your deceit and that works great. Carrick just ducks down and is just not hit by anything in the back. Is a non-factor, but non-factor in both ways. They just can't seem to hit him. Christopher's jumping around. You guys do this like just great move where you just like didn't plan it ahead of time, but where you throw the ball. Thel disappears behind, grabs the ball, clubs the guy. Felix is right under there underneath the big frame of Thel, comes up, looks like he grabbed it, takes the ball from Thel, jumps to another one, hurls it at one of the other kids who thinks that it was his friend throwing it at him, knocks him off the edge, and then old man like scoops up the ball before it hits the ground and just takes the final shot and just drills the kid that was being the shittiest to you just in the face, and you just see a spout of blood go up as he just hits the ground completely unconscious. And you guys have won your game of goat ball and 5 gold.
All right. Split it up.
and every
I think we should just give all the gold to old man. He played so well.
We
He
can
played his heart
afford
out.
it.
and he's like, yeah. and he
What's your name? What's your name, bud?
and he kind of like thinks for a second. He's
I
like,
can't remember my name.
no, I have, he being the DM thinks for a name, and it's Chonk. Because so Chonk the old man, and he just like gives you, and he like kind of like signals over for you. He's kind of a silent guy, like you don't go like he's got like cauliflower ears, like has seen an obvious hard life. The kids just walk away, and people are jeering at them, like whoa, you lost to these newcomers and an old man, like come on. And these kids thought they were pretty tough. Make a, let's see, highest passive perception I think is Carrick, but Christopher, as you like kind of like look over one of the kids, make a perception check as you're close to him, and I'll let you, since you were real close to one too, Fel, make perception checks on these kids. Both of you kind of notice, and it's like this one kid in there, like the eyeball, like after he got hit, like one of his eyes is kind of like stuck looking to the left.
Yeah.
It's just stuck and does not look natural. So, there's that. Yeah, the old man kind of like signals you over, and there's a little vendor that's like has these like wooden cups full of some ale, some libations, and there there's like a bowl of maybe some like dried meats and some like hardy winter type fruits, like some blackberries. And he just kind of like gives you a thumbs up and just kind of like sits there and just kind of like does some like hand signaling, kind of like describing like a thank you and how much fun he had, and he's left there. So you guys are sitting there doing that. As this happens, Gishax comes up and grabs Carrick and like talks to him quickly, like, please excuse me, let me take your friend. I think you'll enjoy this over here. And try his hand at heralding the lightning. He seems somewhat attuned with that element, so please let me take him from you. You guys enjoy your victory. That was quite fun to see those little punks get put in their place. And walks off with Carrick, so I don't have to worry about him. And yeah, so he goes over to play this, or where you saw those gongs set up, and we're like kind of like the older people and the kids were all sitting, and Carrick doesn't argue because he's not here to argue for himself. Yeah, so kind of the other things going on, there's still the fighting pits going on, and there's the giant moose. The only thing probably of interest beyond those things is the giant moose that's on a spit that is like under this kind of like roaring bonfire. So there's that. And just to recap from last time, Fel has none of his equipment. He took his armor off and just kind of went as is to be respectful and kind of that, not look intimidating. Do the rest of you have your stuff? Like, just for me to know, do you have your equipment, or did you all just kind of leave it at the hotel?
At least got my sweet marjoram on me.
So you have your cooking utensils, but nothing like your weapons or things like that.
I think I would have like my dagger, but I think everything else I would.
Yeah, and you know, like it's not uncommon. Like most people here have some sort of small side weapon, at least like a hatchet or something like that. But no one's walking around with their two-handed greatsword that has electricity going through it and a giant maul that seems to be made of cracked lava. So yeah, you can kind of have, like, if you wanted to have just a little side weapon, you can have that. So maybe the two big boys can have like your hand axes that you have or something like that. But yeah, so while you're doing that and enjoying, kind of talking to Chonk, he is that, and you are approached by the guy who probably was the nicest to you besides Ungarok. I said Gishak earlier because I keep mixing up their names. It was Ungarok, the older female orc that took Carrick away. You are approached by the guy who first welcomed you here, whose name is Watchhead. If anyone else can find it faster than me, go ahead. Watchhead Shucksall.
I don't think I have that right.
Yeah, that's he's the guy who was like very interested in asking you stories from the South as you guys first got here. He.
Oh wait, I do have it right here.
Yeah. He approaches with one of the only room mark that you haven't actually interacted with, which is Shoma. Shoma is fucking jacked. She kind of like sits there cross-armed, very stoic, kind of silent type. Shucks all kind of says, "That was a wonderful game to watch you guys play. I'm so glad that you didn't get your asses kicked by those punks. In fact, seeing that I was able to convince Shoma here to take a little bit of a break from watching everything and worrying about the hunt to maybe take on two Southerners." And he goes on and speaks and says, "I'd love for in the idea of proving yourself, especially to one of our strongest rune marked, challenge you two to a match in one of the rings." And points to the two big guys, and challenge you to a fight in the ring.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys accept. Felix, you can either watch, you can just hang around. There's also jousting in the...
I am not jousting. I am going to bet on whoever... Christopher or
okay.
I'm going to bet the pot.
You're going to bet the pot? Okay, so...
500 gold.
There's absolutely no way that 500 gold is going to be scrounged up in this community. That
100 gold.
That is 99% trade and services.
What's the shiniest thing they have?
Well, I mean, that's you can like put up probably like an object. Like I will say, you can put up 100 gold, but you will not get gold in return.
That's fine.
Okay,
I'll do that.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't say this is not a affluent community. This is 500 gold would be like you bought a house. Someone bet their house on your 500 gold. So yeah, I'll let you say like 100 gold. Think about what you might want in return if they win. Keeping in mind of what this community is, kind of very isolated. Like the gold that they do use is for trade with.
Can I bet for ingredients for Christopher to cook with? Like the prime ingredients that they have.
Yes. For prime ingredients.
Like the Wagyu beef of this.
Yes. Essentially that, but yeah, with 100 gold, they might have some extra properties to them. So
Sweet.
So yeah, you put up 100 gold. Obviously you can't bet on yourself. The other two of you. Okay, and you go into a ring. Let me just bring up. Let's do a quick hand-drawn map. Oh, I didn't even realize like what map we were on, because I'm on a totally different map that I didn't finish yesterday. So we're there. We go here. We go. Plus.
Just search for Wagyu moose to see if anything came up.
I don't feel like that's a thing. I don't feel like there's free range moose in Japan that they give a very specific diet to. It's the fat marble.
No, but there is here.
There is. Is there?
I have no
This
idea.
plane. Yeah.
Oh, on this plane of existence. There's just like this one, like it's very like harsh and like kind of survival, and then there's just this one pen of these super pampered moose. Speaking of beasts of burden, how did 7 horses die over the weekend at the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, shit.
Yep.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Like 2 of them in the prelims like broke their ankles and had to be euthanized, because that's what you do to horses when they break their ankles. It's kind of wild.
Sounds like some mafia
Oh no,
level stuff.
it was 3 of them were from one trainer, so that trainer's been suspended and like can't go to Churchill Downs anymore, because they're viewing it as overtraining. Okay, so how many feet did I make this? Okay, 35 is big enough. So go ahead and place. Oh, I didn't move you guys over. Whoop. Whoop. Okay, are you guys on there now? Hold on. Keyboard working. Keyboard. Okay, well, I guess I don't need that. Yeah, so place your guys on the north side of the ring. You guys, since you don't have your weapons, there is like just racks as you guys approach of either very blunted or wooden weapons. You guys can take your pick of what weapon you want to use. Let me go back real quick. Okay. I just need my keyboard to work. We watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids last night. Movie holds up. If you liked it as a kid.
It's a rare thing. Keep going back, and some movies are just shit now.
Oh, it's or they are either shit or they don't hold up to your the standards of the world anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I still think that From Russia with Love is one of the best movies ever made, but man, when he slaps that woman on the train, it's hard to watch.
It's a different world, man.
Yeah. Well, it's the same world, but we're just a little bit better at things. Yeah, okay, there. I didn't realize the circle was on the wrong place. What weapons did you grab?
What were our options?
It literally like pretty much anything. It's just a wooden weapon. Probably not. They probably don't have great swords. You would probably have to use something else besides a great sword, but war hammers, things like that. You guys are proficient with literally all weapons, so
Probably like dual wield smaller swords. I haven't really done that before. That sounds kind of interesting.
So you can have that. You don't have the dual wielder feat, so there's that second weapon. I actually don't know how it works, or not dual wielder feat, but the dual wielding battle style. So there'll be some level of disadvantage doing that, but you could go. There are like small little buckler shields, things like that you could also use.
Yeah, I should probably. I'll one sword, one shield. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, especially because you don't have your armor on right now, so your AC is not 20. Your AC will be with a shield. What's your dexterity modifier?
1.
1. So you're with a shield, your armor class is 13. But theirs is also about that low too.
They have so I have like the unarmored.
Yeah, you are just fine.
Yeah, that bonus. They don't have that though, do they? Or would they?
You do not. You have no clue. You have no clue what classes these guys are. Yeah, we'll just put 2 of these people. I know what they are.
Were we choosing from somewhere? Did I? Or were we just like coming up with something?
It's just any weapon that you want to use. You just probably can't use a two-handed weapon. Like you can't use a maul, because it's kind of hard to make a safe maul or a safe great sword, just because the weight is just too much. So it's gonna hurt regardless. So yeah, you can choose like warhammers, swords, things like that. It's probably more sword-like. So you probably have like what makes most sense would be like a blunted or blunted long sword or broadsword. So, you guys go ahead and let's bring up the initiative tracker and roll initiative. Okay, that guy's there. Okay, so just for your knowledge, the one on the left is Shoma, who is this big, burly orc. And then the one on the right is Shupsal, who's a fair amount smaller, looks probably not full-blooded orc, probably 3/4, not a half orc, but that. Christopher's initiative was 19.14, for whatever reason didn't show up right.
Sorry, clicked on one.
Let's see. Felix is. Do you want to be in initiative order to do any shenanigans, or are you just watching?
I'm just watching.
Okay, you got your money out there. You grab a beer. Actually, you're just hanging with Chonk, who wanted to come watch. Is kind of like just following you guys. Feels like you finally found some close friends. Okay, so that's 12.14. Nope, that's not theirs. They get a +2, 11. Christopher gets a 12.4, and then veteran. Let's go over to his. Yeah. Okay, +1. 13. Okay. So as you're coming here, you are explaining the rules. That it is whoever yields is knocked unconscious, or pushed out of the ring. Or I guess being pushed out of the ring. In this case, since there's 2 people, it would need both people to be pushed out of the ring. If you're pushed out of the ring, you have to wait run round, and then you can enter back in. Okay. Order by descending. You guys are both standing opposite of each other, and first person to go is, I put Christopher's in wrong, which should be 19.14. Is Christopher. You go first.
Alright, I picked out a quarterstaff.
You have a yeah, that is just fine. You have a big stick.
Yep. I do some little spinny things and then fake out one and try and hit the other person.
Okay. Which one are you going to try to hit first?
Do the guy on the right.
Guy on the right?
Oh, wait. No, there's a jacked one. Yeah, let's go for the jacked one.
You're going
first.
after the jacked one. Okay.
Yeah.
So Shoma.
All right, Shoma.
Okay. So move up and take your 2 quarterstaff attacks.
All right, and do an reckless, because I'm doing reckless. Actually, I don't need to because he doesn't have armor. I shouldn't need to do that, but still.
Yep, okay, yes, that definitely hits. You did not say you are raging, so.
Yeah, no, I'm not there yet. Yeah.
Okay, so you just come and just plop them on the head, and they or take like a rib shot to them, like, ooh, okay, and just kind of nod, but not move. Like this person stands about 1.5 feet over you.
Fine.
And then take your second attack.
Oh yeah, sorry. Where's
Yeah, you were reckless.
Yeah.
So yeah, both of them, you like kind of like hit one side, hit the other side, and then they just like look down at you and they smile, a big husky smile, just does that as they kind of like draw out this this like big old club is what they're using. So 16 damage ain't nothing to frown at. With that, it is the veterans.
Only 14, I think. Sorry, I had rage on.
Oh no, it's because it's the twos are above it, so it doesn't
yeah.
all together.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So yeah, I have to do the math on that. Yeah, so those two big hits, and then do you back up or are you up against them?
I'll hold it. I don't know. Ready
Okay, you fall back. As you fall back, they will take an attack of opportunity at you.
Sorry, no.
No.
I was just gonna hold it there. Yeah.
Yeah, right up against them. So the veteran goes and looking at those two hits, like kind of pulls out, like they have a little buckler, kind of exactly the same as Fell, like a short sword with that, and is going to run up to you and take an attack against you, Christopher, and your AC is 16?
Yep.
Or 16? Okay. The first attack, this kind of like comes in over and misses. The second attack will hit with, what is that? 18 plus 5 will come and attacks you, and as it does that, it is like he comes and sweeps down towards your leg. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. A 14 does not save against his.
Do I get advantages on those?
Oh, you would have danger sense. So yeah, you do get advantage on this.
All right.
Oh, you feel as it comes underneath you to trip you, and are able to just barely sidestep. However, you will take 8, 2, 3, 6. You will take 12 points of damage from this, from the hit that like gets your leg, but you're able to avoid from the full like tripping effect of it, because like it's the like you kind of went for like a down your leg and the shield to punch you over it, and you are standing there. However, then with his bonus action, he is going to point at and just give a little like nod to Shoma, who is going to take take an attack at you. That is 17 to hit. No, yeah, 17 to hit. So you will take another 6 points of damage as you're kind of off kilter avoiding this. Strom brings that club around and just bashes you on the side of the ribs, and everyone's just smiling, and Shuckzal looks like nice avoidance, man. And now it is Shoma's turn, who's just going to go into a rage. And as she goes into a rage, kind of like the like electricity of a roll of thunder goes overhead and begins and kind of like a spark of electricity seems to surround her, and she is going to take 2 attacks on you. Misses with the first one. The second one will hit, and as you hit it, you feel like kind of sparks hitting you as it hits.
Does she get advantage on the
Oh,
one
on the
too.
first one, yeah. Well, we'll say so. She hits on the first one, and then this is the last roll. Yeah, she'll hit on both of them. So, thank you for being honest. You take 6. 11 points of damage from these 2 shots against you. And that ends their turn as they just kind of like puff up, and you can tell like you've seen it many times. This is somebody that went into a rage. You're up, Phil.
Okay, with my bonus action, I will throw Shield of Faith on myself, so +2 to my armor. So
Okay.
+3 total, so I'm at 15 now.
Okay, yeah, you're 10 + 1 + 15. Okay.
Yep. And then I'm gonna cast Hold Person on the raging lady.
You cannot cast a second spell unless it's a cantrip.
Got it. Okay. That one is. Oops.
That's a level 1 spell, or Shield of Faith is a level 1 spell. So.
Yeah, they're both concentration. I just want to make sure they're both. Okay. All right. Maybe later. So
I like that. What is your small parchment with a bit of holy text written on it? I don't know. The material components are always funny. Just like pull out this little piece of paper that says like, "Do your best."
I know. I was watching a clip from the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and somebody was counting out the number of seconds that are like turns in combat, but it didn't have any of the components of any of the spells like that, which I thought would have been hilarious if you just saw them like one guy like on the side of the fight, like pull out, read that, and then like do a spell.
Yeah, that movie was very fun. I very much enjoyed it. But okay, so
all right. Well, I will. Yeah, run up here, and I guess hit this dude.
Yeah, take your 2 attacks.
Since I don't have those as weapons, do I just do strength? What? Or you've got a quarterstaff added.
Yeah, you can just add a long sword to your inventory.
What is happening here?
Let's see.
My compendium looks way. Oh, there we go. It's because I'm searching in the wrong place. I don't know. Searching art library.
So after this first round, what is Felix doing? Is he still just watching after you probably haven't seen Christopher get this rocked by anything so quickly ever.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be paying a little more attention, and if things go wrong in the next round, I think I might.
you might
figure
be
something
a
out.
little sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're watching after that first like initial bout against Christopher. Shank just looks at you and goes, "Oof, oof,"
I've
and that
seen
was
him take.
without you.
He's taken worse.
That is without you getting tripped.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little careful.
Yeah, not
Okay,
raging
what is
was a
happening
poor
here?
choice.
Yeah, we'll see.
One-on-one fights work very differently than group fights.
If I change the setting, so my character sheet pops out.
Mhm.
Is there an easy way to drag stuff to the
I'll
pop
just
out
drag it
character
in.
sheet?
I'll add it for you real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I have to like go to the settings and find.
Yeah,
where
you would
that-
have to pop it back in to log or to. Why is my keyboard keep doing this? Oh, I know why it's doing it.
Oh, I got it then. Yeah, I'll just unpop it out and then fix it here. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Except that like didn't load.
As this fight's going on, what you guys while you're watching, make a perception check, Felix.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
You
what's
are very
happening.
interested in the fight you're currently watching. So
yeah, I guess if you could, I don't know what's happening. It like won't.
yeah, okay, I'll add it real quick.
The unpopped out character sheet like won't load, so then it won't add it. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, this guy looks like spell. Come over here.
Now I can't even. All right, I'm just gonna refresh roll 20. I don't know what is happening here.
Okay, it is added to your sheet. So yeah, it's a +8, and then it's 1d8 +5. So, 13 does not hit this guy. Or let me double check. No, it would not. He has an AC of 14. That one does. So the first one, you come and he's able to like spin around, get it with his buckler, but you're fast enough on the return swing to catch him in the ribs, and he kind of like bends over to the side, and now he's took a good hit from that, and kind of like looks left and right, kind of like knowing he's now pincered, not in a great situation, but yeah, that brings it back to Christopher. Or unless you could move back if you wanted to, Fel, or if you want to stay where you're at.
No, I'm good, Ryan.
Okay.
Right. No, man. No raging.
Ooh. You actually do take 5 more points of damage, Christopher. I missed something on this person's sheet. So
now I'm really raging. So
yeah, now you're very much raging. So
yeah, I guess I don't know how to do anything else but just hit him again.
yeah, so who are you going after?
Still Shoma, probably.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you, after having just taken those 2 big club hits, you return in kind.
Mm-hmm. Just normal this time.
Just not not. Okay.
Yeah.
14 would not hit.
Nuts.
AC of 15.
Nuts. All right.
This one does hit, so they kind of lean back, as big as they are, quite nimble, but then your second stick just comes up like into the like underarm, and you deal that damage to them. You immediately see your ancestral guardians kind of circle, and he smiles now, knowing that like, oh, you have some of this. We're of a same kind. So yeah, you deal 7 points of damage. Nope. 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage.
Yeah. So
okay, well, this is not.
That's your turn. Oops. Okay. That leads it to the other to Shupsal's turn, who's going to try something he did to the other to Christopher. Going to take his first attack on Fel. That is a 15 plus 3, so 18. Hits. Make a strength or make a dexterity saving throw, Fel. A 14 is not going to do it, as the swing comes in, deals 8 points of damage, or no, 11 points of damage, and you're knocked prone. And then as you are prone, going to turn and take a second strike on Christopher, which is not going to hit. And then seeing kind of being between these two is going to back up one, and you can take an attack of opportunity, Christopher.
Right. Do I get anything for?
If you hit, he does not move because of your sentinel ability.
Right. There we go. All right.
Yes, that hits. So he does not get away as you as he's going spin around and hit the back of his head and stop his movement away from you. So that's takes 9 points of damage. That's no good. However, he does give another in that kind of movement away. He gives Shoma an attack a chance to attack, which is going to be an 18 to hit. So you take another 8 points of damage reduced to 2, and then another 2 damage on top of that. So
8 reduced to 2?
No, 8 reduced to 4 plus another 2 on top of that. So 6 total. As Shoma uses that little bit of time as you're focusing on him to take another attack on you. Okie dokie. That is then Shoma's turn, who, much like you, doesn't have a ton of stuff to do and is just going to wail on you. It's going to be a natural 20.
Oh, shit.
And 12 plus 5 is 17. So, holy moly, guys. I'm just going to roll this one in front of the board, because this is the most dice I've ever had to roll. So that is 2, 4, 5, 6. Advanced dice roller. We need is going to be roll 6d8 plus. What do you have? So this damage is halved.
Oh, lovely.
So 16 or 38, so 19 points of damage, plus 3, 4. And that 4 damage is not halved. So you take a total of 22 points of damage.
What? All right, I'm doing great.
How you looking, Chris?
I got 11 points of health left, so one more of these hits and I'm done.
Guys, this is. There's a reason this person is one of the rune marks of this community of fighters. Okay, that's the end of Shoma's turn. So, are you gonna do anything, Fel, after watching that? This is not something you have. I don't think that Christopher has ever been below.
Yeah,
this.
one
Or
time
me.
by the stupid little like reptile things, little like raptors.
Okay. Yeah, by the
that was a while
raptor.
ago.
Yeah. So, are you gonna do anything, Fel, or not Fel, but Felix?
Yeah. Can I?
It's like a Rocky montage.
Disintegrating.
It's been like the Rocky montage where he's just getting a shit beat out of him.
I would like to use my awakened mind feat.
Okay, so one of your things from being a warlock?
Yeah, and I would like to get in the mind of Shoma
Mm-hmm.
and pretend to be Cord and tell her to go and beat up what's his name, Shuxel or whoever this other guy is, on her next turn.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. I'll say yeah, just make a straight persuasion check. Classic gaslighting. Okay, 12. She will roll insight. If you believe it, not the most unwise person, but definitely not wise. Hup. That is a 7 plus 1, 8. So, you see her just kind of like look, and just to give a thought like into her process, she's like, yeah, this is a little unfair right now. and takes that to heart. Or you don't know that, but you did what you thought you should do. Give me your best chord voice.
Whoa. I don't know. I don't know what chord it's supposed to be like.
No, chord is how I always picture it is like very much like a Thor or like very
Okay, so I was on the right track.
Yeah, very strong like Norse god type. Like I think that's what he's based most off of would be a Thor type, a Thor or Odin or Heimdall type. So, anyways,
Heimdall.
what? Fuck Heimdall.
Yeah, man.
What's wrong with Heimdall?
Have you played God of War Ragnarok?
I have not.
Okay, well, fuck Heimdall.
Oh, but Idris Elba is so good as him.
Yeah. He sucks in that game.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wanted to play it, but I think that's next after I finish Resident Evil 4. The Resident Evil 4 remake is the most unnecessary remake that is so good. Like, why are you remaking a game that good? And then you're like, oh, because you made it better. So, okay, so now it is Belle's turn. That is kind of I will remind you, you do know that if someone is pushed out of the ring, they do have to stay out for one round.
I mostly just
but also mechanically for you to shove someone out of the ring, you would have to
that would be my whole I was gonna say, yeah,
5 feet at a time.
That would be my whole action, and I mean that she's not exactly smaller than me, so there's no guarantee.
No. Technically, she's still a medium creature. You guys are the same size category, but you assume her strength is probably on par with you, and she is raging. So
action-wise, I feel like pulling something like hold person might be helpful here, if I mean if it hits, but I also feel like I need to touch Christopher a little and give him a little of my touching powers.
Yeah. Go ahead and do it. You do you, man.
But both are full action, so that's what I'm trying to decide. I'm like, which would be more helpful here?
Okay, go ahead. Do what you're gonna do.
My neighborhood is having a spring festival.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of what having an HOA gets you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a street, like there's houses right behind us, and then that's the park right behind that. And it's I can hear the music through headphones.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The other side of the street is
supposed
probably
to not get you. That's the biggest thing about an HOA is a sound ordinance. Okay, make your choice, man.
I don't know how much healing's gonna get me if I'm this close.
I mean, that natural 20 hit hard.
Yeah.
yeah.
Besides the one, a 6, 2 7s on D8s.
I'm gonna try to hold person on. Yeah, she's the stronger of the two, I would think, right?
Make an insight check real quick, just because I don't want to undo what Felix did. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
You do not feel bad if you undo what I did. Like,
Yeah,
it's
well,
fine.
it wouldn't totally undo it. It would just undo it for a turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hold person on her.
Okay, what is? Give me the DC and the stat. It doesn't matter. She rolled 2, so
My spell DC is 14. Yeah.
14. Yeah. So with a what? With a 3, she is. You watch her show, but like look straight to Shucksall, and then like kind of like goes to pull a club up and is just paused, completely paused, considered paralyzed for the turn. Christopher, you watching this? No one has ever. I don't think have we ever seen hold person happen before.
I don't think
Is there
so.
any reason,
I don't think I've used it.
There's no reason that Christopher would know what just happened to Shoma in front of him. So do whatever you're going to do. But you do see them like pretty obviously like pull up the club and just stop like halfway through, like veins bulging in their neck, but just pause like a statue. So
I think I'm just gonna try and push with all my might, trying to get her out of the ring. Or him, maybe. No, because is Fel still prone, or?
Oh, Fel was
yeah.
able to stand up. Fel, you were able to stand up. Like,
yeah, I guess I'll try and push him out.
Shoma is a female, or are you
right?
pushing
The other dude. Yeah, the other
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
You're gonna try and push the other guy out of the ring.
You know, no, I'm just gonna try and tackle Shoma, even if it takes me out too.
Okay. Can you just bring up hold person? I just want to know if they fail athletics checks automatically. They're paralyzed. So what does the paralyzed condition say? Conditions: paralyzed, cannot speak, automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. So you are able to very easily push Shoma out of the ring. With your 2 movements, they are out of the ring. You are here. Nope, you do have to move forward here. So you will take an attack of opportunity as you push her out of the ring.
All right.
That is an 11 plus plus 5, 16. So I think that just hits
Just
you.
hits. Yep. Should have
Okay,
gotten the
this
shield.
is D8 plus 3. So if he rolls an 8, you go unconscious. 5, 8 points of damage. As kind of like that, like you're very like woozy, and the like hit that he gets across you with the blunted edge of the sword, like is what like trips you forward, but you push Shoma out, who is still like just kind of like standing there like a statue in the same pose. But that is now the veteran's turn, who, seeing that and seeing you on kind of like death's door, is going to spin around and take the attack of opportunity it would get from Thel. So Thel, go ahead and make an attack of opportunity. What was it?
17.
17 definitely hits. Jeez, Morgan, why do you roll so good on damage all the time? I guess you have a +5 always, so even if you roll a 1, it seems like it's high. He is going to do so. He takes that 11 points of damage. Like you clock him upside the head, but stumbles for a second. But he is going to take his first strike. 1 second. Against Christopher. Give him that. I was a dummy. I didn't give him the good one that would have been very good for this. His first strike is an 8 plus nothing's gonna hit there. So what I said, it's an 8 plus 5. So his first strike misses you as you finish your push. His second strike is a 12 plus 5, 17.
Yep. Well, I think I'm going.
Oh, I would say you actually have 4 more HP because that last strike would have been had because you're raging.
Oh.
So now it is that's the wrong die. 8. 4 plus 3 is 7. Reduced to half is 3. So you are still standing, my man.
It's a rough one.
Okay. That is Shoma's turn, who can't do anything on their turn, but is going to make another wisdom saving throw. They get a 11. They are still paralyzed outside of the ring. Guys, Hold Person is probably one of the best spells in the game, just for the future. And upcasting it, if you cast it at 3rd level, you can hold 3 people. It is a nonsense spell.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I was like, oh, I could hold 2 people. And I'm like, oh, I don't have a 3rd level spell.
Okay, that brings it to Thel's turn. Shoma being out. Shoma is actually officially out after having not returned on their turn. Or, no, if they don't return on their next turn, they are out. So, Thel, your turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, flying shield bash, hit this dude in the back of the head a couple times.
Okay. If you move to your right, you would be flanking and would have advantage. We've never really had to deal with that before. So
That
if you're
way?
ever
Opposite
directly
sides.
across, you have
Yeah.
flanking. So make 2 attacks with advantage. Oh, that's a natural 20. Yep, roll your second one. Yep, that is 27 points of damage, and immediately from a place of near seemingly victory, this group is looking bad, or Shuxall's looking very bad. Christopher, that is your turn.
All right, I'm going advantage or reckless,
Mm-hmm.
swinging around, and just doing what I do.
Okay, do
And
what you
I'm
do.
going to take Orcish Fury too to get a extra one.
Oh, that's all. You call that after you hit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No.
Oh, which one gives, or is it that one? Which one gives me another attack? Or what is it? Oh no, it's only if I hit.
Yeah.
Do I get? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Extra.
Orcish, you're right. That's you can take an extra attack if you want to.
Right.
Normally you wouldn't do that until the end
Okay.
of your.
Yeah. Okay. So try it again. This.
Yes, that hits. He knocks down to the ground, but being a half orc, immediately pops back up to 1 HP.
Nuts. Okay. Popping them again.
Oh, it would have been wonderful if that had missed. And then he would have taken you down instead because his turn was next. Okay, and with that, he falls to the ground. And is unconscious there. They're blunted weapons. They would never have done like. I assume you are pulling your punches. You are not killing these people. But he is unconscious on the ground, and it is then going to go to Shoma's turn, who is going to roll to break this spell. It's a natural 2. Seeing that and seeing them pause, it is considered a yield, and you guys win.
All right. Or did we? But at what cost?
I mean,
default.
Spell took 0 damage.
Yeah, it was a very weird
But
bipolar match.
but Christopher took over 100. So good job. Yeah, the fight is over. You guys are seen are winners. Shoma, like you can drop your spell, Thel, as after the victory, and Shoma like looks disgruntled, but then also smiles and kind of just gives a nod that as someone like that understands the you use the tools you have type thing. So yeah, that is the end of this fight. Who is it? Felix, make a perception check. I'll be right back. I'll let Opie out.
Perception. Well, the rolls keep coming.
Okay. With 12, all you really notice is there's seems to be a crowd kind of gathered on the southern edge of the rings, but you can't really see much else than that. This fight is over. Kind of a kind of druidic looking person, older dwarf kind of comes up and heals Shucks all, gives them about 10 points of healing, asks you if you would like anything. Christopher, as you are looking barely standing,
Take some.
but
Yeah.
congratulates. He gives you 8 points of health back.
Oh. That's...
So, and just kind of smiles, and you guys walk over to Felix, and Chonk's clapping. It has like 2 big beers for the both of you. Felix, you can go and collect your winnings.
Yeah. What do I win?
I will have to figure that out. But you can just write it down as ingredient winnings.
Just like
Right.
picking up
I'm gonna
teeth.
put that in my bag here.
Yeah, it's just
Winnings.
yeah, and I have to write that down to make something up.
Like putting teeth back in my mouth, it fell out.
That's actually what the healing did. Was there was a tooth that was about half out, and it just like went back in. But yeah, so you guys are just kind of sitting there having beer, and enjoying the little bit of time. You still haven't seen Carrick must be out there having fun with these gongs because he hasn't come back yet. And after that, or in a kind of a second or two later, you hear like some shouts and yells. Now you can see coming from the south, and then immediately after that, you hear shouts and yells, from the lower end, the southern end of these pits, and then you hear shouts and yells over by the jousting area, and then shouts and yells in the stands that have been watching these fights, and the goat ball, and then in a booming voice roaring over the entire field, feeling almost magical after a roll of thunder. You hear the voice of you hadn't heard it before, but it rings out and says, "One of your rune marked are dead," and people kind of scatter, and you see in that southern ring Gishak, who is kind of the one that didn't really believe you or trust you guys to begin with, and Tovog, the guy who you had seen talking with and gave you spit by you as you were talking with the other rune marked, has a blade through him, and Shad's like, "This is what this community gets for following the false god of the orc. Grumsh sees you, and he will have his people back to him. Be wary." Grumsh, Grumsh, and you would know who Grumsh is. Grumsh is considered the father of all orcs, based off of fairy tales. It was essentially his blood reigned from when Coralon cut out his eye. Coralon, the god of the elves, cut out his eye. His name's Grumsh One Eye. The blood that spilled fell, as it fell, was cursed by Grumsh, and the elves that it fell upon on the prime material plane that is how orcs became to be. That is widely maybe true, maybe not true, but as such, those that became orcs had his curse on him, which caused the ideas of the orcs to be a barbaric race that and that's like, it is a blood curse. It isn't, anything that they've learned, or that it is actually in their blood to have these rageful tendencies. So he shouts out that and says, Jaruk and the Jezaraz invite everyone back to follow the true path of the orc. And if not by choice, will be taken by force. And then he begins to leave. And as that happens, like I said, shouts and yells come from all corners of this camp, where immediately that you're closest to, you see people starting to scatter from the stands as two ogres stand up, and a couple other orcs, a Goliath, a dwarf, begin attacking those in the stands. Shoma, immediately seeing Gashak fall, starts sprinting after Tobog. And what would you guys like to do? There's absolute chaos has sprung out around you. You see
Gashak dead, or is he like the...
Gashak is dead.
Okay.
Gashak is, or make a perception check. You actually might not know, but you just saw a sword straight through his chest. So
there's nothing. It's not the redeemable dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is not. It is not. Oh, I'm unconscious. It is.
Right. Okay.
The coup de grace was probably. You're smart enough for that. Yeah. So in the stands, which are about maybe like 80 to 100 feet away. Oh, by the way, you're like almost like probably 150, 200 feet away from that other pit. Like, you see it happening, but you hear the voice as it yells out. But yeah, about 80 feet to your side is the stands, and you do see Morgron, one of the other, like the head rune mark, kind of getting people out of the stands and fighting off these ogres and other attackers there. You do hear Ungarak running towards the jousting area to the north, calling for help. As she says, "Please, whoever's able, the beasts are loose. Help!" And over the gongs, you just see some like fire bolts flying around, and you see you see a big old like plume of purple energy that you assume is one of Carrick's like gravity sinkholes, and you see like something like fly up into the air and fall down. You think everything's fine over there. So, but yeah, you kind of can notice in this chaos that there's kind of two places to go help. So what do you guys do?
I'm drinking my healing potion first, before I do anything else.
Okay.
One of the notes, I think one of them's nasty tasting. That's my notes for that.
It's nasty.
So there.
What's closer to us?
Things.
What are we closer to?
You are closer to the stands, but the you guys are kind of like in the northwest part, so you're probably 150, 200 feet away, or probably 150 from the the actual like jousting area. I would say, all looking at this, it's you can all go together, but you can all go together. But there's definitely chaos happening simultaneously. So kind of have to make your choices of safety versus coverage. You get +2 on top of that, Christopher.
Cool.
So 9 points of healing. What y'all do?
Where's our equipment and stuff? Is it?
It is back at the hotel.
No, great. It's a good thing I left my gun.
I left my gun.
Yeah, my plate armor. I don't know what.
Yeah. Not that you could get in your plate armor very quick.
No, it's not here anyway.
There's a magic item like Iron Man's armor that just like.
Okay, so describe the 2 locations again.
Okay. I didn't want to draw maps for all this because it would be a lot of work, but here, let me just.
No, I'm good. Yeah, just a little bit of description.
I'm just gonna kind of give you this. Delete everything. Delete this ring. No. Background there. Okay, that's gone. Objects. So kind of at a high level, you guys are like here. The stands that you want to go to, or that were watching you, are about here, and the like jousting area is about here. Tovog, and where he ran, is like down here.
Okay, and what is attacking each of the 2 places?
You have no actual
real idea.
To the north, on this map, you know that all that you heard was Gishak said that the beasts are loose and that she needs help. And here, and to the here, you see Morground and a couple others fighting as well, clearing the stands, as there are 2 ogres and like 3 or 4 other people seemingly attacking just wantonly attacking the people around them.
Okay. And Christopher, your nature with animals is a little higher than everybody's, right?
Got a 4, yeah.
Okay, my military command my military command kicks in with the chaos, and I tell Christopher to go help with the animals, and I'm gonna run to the stands closest to us.
Touching first. Before.
Yes, I slap you on the back and say go help with the animals, and I give you 25 hit points.
All right.
Okay. And I guess Felix is, you can go with Christopher or stay with
Chonk?
with Chonk and Bell.
No, I'm gonna go with Christopher.
Okay. Chonk stays here to help out Bell.
What is Chonk? Is he
Chonk is an old man.
He's got the commoner stat block.
Chonk is a guy that did not exist until I forgot that you needed 5 people.
He's the commoner with an athletic background, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. He's a little bit better than that, but pretty much. He has a dexterity of 10. He has a strength of 14. Everything else is 10s across the board. And HP is question mark. Okay, so we'll start with Christopher and Felix running towards the pens, or towards the area. And as you get there, like these stands that are kind of like I say stands, but it's kind of like a sloped hill that has benches on it. People are scattering from that. You see people thinking of like taking the kids, the elderly away. Who's at my front door? Amazon is at my front door. And they are all kind of running, scattering as you do see there are. I'm just going to draw kind of the area some more. There's like a big long run with some gates, and then there's about like pens on either side. Out of the pens are completely broken, and there are 2 giant boar just rampaging and scattering around, as well as 3 dire wolves that seem to be pouncing on anything that gets close enough to it, and they're just kind of like madly rampaging. As you guys all enter, make a perception check. I guess make a perception check. You get that for free, but we'll see what else you see as you run kind of over this hill and start heading down to where this area is. Yeah, so the biggest thing you notice is that inside the crowd, there does seem to be like kind of chaos in the stands, but you do see, actually, let's see. You don't see anything, particular, just that there's a lot of chaos in the stands. And then, yeah, you see these animals, and you see Geshak, who is like kind of like calmed down one of the wolves and is trying to like figure out like what to do next, and yells to you like, please help, do not hurt the animals, it seems we might need them. And what do you guys do?
I'm doing a great bag of tricks to try and bribe some of these dire wolves.
Okay,
Poor little ferret's gonna be
roll a d8 to see what happens.
Oh yeah, we got an elk or a moose or whatever it is. Which one is
What
this?
is? Well, I can't remember what it is.
Yeah. It's the big one, whatever it is.
Yeah, is it a giant elk?
Giant elk. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so you have a giant elk, and do you jump on it and start riding off to change the answer?
It's just kind of sitting there with whatever we can entice the interest of these wolves with.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of like spank it on the button. It starts running. Make an animal handling check with advantage because of the giant elk. Okay, 15. 2 of the dire wolves start chasing after the elk as it just starts. You just send it off running, or do you keep it here?
How much control do I have over it?
Complete control over this animal.
Can I make it disappear too, or is it once it's out, it's out?
I don't know the extent of the Great Bag of Tricks.
It's going. It's gonna die a terrible death.
And it's just a fake creature that was created based off of a fluffy ball out of a bag. So, okay, yeah. So 2 of them start darting off the elk. I'll make a dexterity check for the elk.
Kind of away from the crowd, but not too far away. Like,
yeah, but off away from the safety. Yeah. It runs out there. Yeah, and it has a decent lead, but the wolves are definitely catching it.
Right.
You think this will definitely be a distraction for a bit?
Cool. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yep. Felix, what do you do?
Trying to understand all the chaos. We have the stands that had ogres on it. Like
Yeah, and the stands with ogres are where Thel and Chonk were going, and
right,
you were
and
heading.
me and Christopher went to the pens.
It was where the jousting was, and there were pens there, and all the animals had busted out and seemed to be rampaging.
Ah, okay. Right.
And people are scattering in the stands that were kind of watching everything. And Gishak has one wolf subdued. No, Gishak's dead. Sorry, Ungarok. I don't know why I mix them up so much. The old lady one.
Is there anything that looks like it might be useful to wrangle these animals? Like, actually, I have rope. You know what? I have rope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take out some rope and try to lasso some animals.
Ooh, I would say you also have your crossbow that shoots rope.
I don't have that with me.
Oh shit, you don't have anything with you. I forgot.
All I have is my dagger right now.
Yep. Okay, so you're going to take some rope. There are 2 giant boar and 1 dire wolf. Which one are you going to try to get?
Let's go for the boar.
Which one are you going to put your hand up and Chris Pratt at the from Jurassic World? You go for the first boar, who as you get there, underneath it you see like this let's see, it's actually a tiefling body just kind of laying down on the ground that seems to have been trampled. You aren't sure if they're alive or dead. It's this boar is just kind of bucking around. Make a dexterity check or make a sleight of hand check as you try to slip this rope on this boar.
You know, I hate how much from the first Jurassic World to the last one that fucking stance of his went from being like somewhat made sense and believable to what the fuck is this bullshit?
Believable is a funny word to use there.
In Jurassic Park, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, how believable it was he could stop a dinosaur.
Contextually, it was tense, but it made sense when they stopped when he did it in the first one. And the last one, it's just like a random raptor in the jungle. He's like, whoa! Just fucking stops. Why?
Jedi mind tricks on a velociraptor.
That was the unspoken truth of that is that Owen had the fucking force that entire movie.
Yep. Here, though, we're gonna go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 tonight.
Yeah, we're going at 3:55.
Yeah, that's what us too. I have no clue. I've read nothing about it. I literally know nothing about this movie.
That's better these days.
It is better these days. Yeah, so you have him lassoed. And I'll give you advantage on whatever you're going to try to do next now that you have a giant boar, like literally horse-sized boar lassoed.
I mean, I'd like to I don't think I'll be able to hold on to this very long, so I'd like to try and secure it on like a post or some kind of way to secure it to keep it from something cemented into the ground. You know what I mean?
Okay, go ahead and we'll just have you make we'll just have you make another sleight of hand check to tie a bitchin' knot around a post.
Sweet.
With advantage though. So son of a gun. Tying
one of my best skills.
Well, yes, it's one of your best skills, but you also roll really bad most of the time.
on all my other skills, yeah, but I have a +9, so God, if I don't roll well enough.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
On
So
this.
with a 28, this thing is lashed there, and what you see is like almost like when it like bucked against it, it like caught something in its neck, and it immediately is like, "Whoa, this is." It's immediately a little bit more worried than just normally. Like, I can pull this out. It caught so hard that it like kind of dazed it. So this boar, I will say, at least for the next couple rounds, is out of commission. So you still have two boar or two. One
boar
boar
and a
and
wolf,
one
right?
dire wolf, still kind of doing it. And as you do this, as you kind of finish tying that knot, you look up as the boar flings this this orcish male up into the air, and comes crashing down onto one of the fences and cracking it in half, and the orc is limp. The dire wolf, you see, stands up with some blood dripping from its mouth. Both of you guys make perception checks.
Yep, back to it.
Back to 12s.
Back to 12.
12. 15. You're kind of given a moment to survey the area, Christopher. And before you, I guess I have to roll. Yes. Before, as you see the wolves chasing after your sacrificial elk, you see, as they run away, an orcish figure stand up in the crowd, and like it's kind of pointing at the wolves, and like and you can see them kind of chanting.
Where are they? In the stands?
In the stands where like people are, it's like kind of like in the like the stands have kind of cleared out a bit, so but there's still like kind of lost in the chaos. So Christopher is able to see this as it seems, because you see it, and it's like as you see them like chanting and doing that, one of the wolves like kind of turns its head but is too enticed by the giant elk. Yashak is going to try to do something to one of the wolves, but it seems like gets knocked aside as trying to just kind of like tackle it and hold it to the ground. It was too big and kind of gets thrown to the side, not injured but just thrown to the side. We'll go to you, Christopher. What do you want to do?
How many things are there? How many animals are there around?
There's one boar and one dire wolf and one looking crazy in the stands.
I'm gonna throw a salami to the dire wolf.
Okay, you have a big old roll of salami.
Yep. And
okay. You roll that. Anyone that wants to do something to that dire wolf next time will have advantage as it smells the salami. Or make an animal handling check, very low DC. Yeah. You have distracted this wolf with salami, but it's not a long distraction. Anything else you want to do?
I mean, I think I'm eventually going to want to come towards that guy.
Okay, yeah, you start heading over towards that person. You guys are still probably, I feel like you are right up on like the stands. But Christopher, since you had like just like been pulling things out and throwing them, you're a little bit further behind, but you're kind of heading towards the stand. Felix, what do you want to do?
So I saw these people chanting, right?
You did not.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
So you just know there's one more boar and that there's a wolf that looks distracted by a big tube of salami.
Okay.
This
in that
salami
case,
is, by the way, like at least a month and a half old.
Sure.
If not like 3 months old.
All right. In that case, I would like to. I'm gonna sneak up on the wolf and try to stab it with my dagger, because I know we're supposed to like save the animals, but they're acting rabid. So
yes, this wolf just killed somebody.
Yeah. So let's try and do some damage to the wolf.
Okay. Make a bonus action sneak roll.
So stealth, right?
Yeah. how much health do these wolves have? What was it? Just while I look this up.
26.
Oh yeah, you are hidden as hell as this wolf is distracted by the meat. So go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
Oh, wait. Okay, cool. One more.
Get
17.
that hits and roll your
Plus
sneak attack
sneak attack.
damage. So
22 total.
24 points of damage, or 22 points of damage. You come up and I'm going to make a roll a d20. On a 20, it's on 11 or higher, it's dead. 10 or lower, it's incapacitated.
All right, 15.
No, it's dead. Oh no, that should have been reversed, but I said it the way I did. It's dead. It is. This thing is dead without intervention, unless you intervene and someone cures it.
Okay,
but
well, it's dead.
It's dead unless you pour a health potion down this 12-foot.
I don't have any health potions on me right now, so.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is we go. However, instead of doing anything else, Ungarok will come and heal it. So instead of trying to subdue the other thing, this wolf is stabilized, but definitely not doing anything for the next couple weeks, as it has a hole in its neck. Yeah. So with Ungarok doing that for their turn, Christopher, you're up. Or go ahead and make another round of perception checks, guys. The boar has trampled another person. Another person trying to wrangle it gets completely demolished into the dirt. Yes, now both of you kind of closer in see and now they're kind of starting to back up, seeing the tide kind of turn. This like kind of fur-clad orcish individual, trying, definitely doing something shady, casting some sort of spell up in the stand. However, they're backing up, seeing that kind of the animals have been subdued or that in some way, and that maybe their job is complete, and so they start to leave. Christopher, your turn.
I'm going to them. How far up are they in the stance?
You're able to close the distance on them as you run up. You probably have to jump, but that's nothing new.
Yep.
You jump up as you are flying through the air, and you are going to land right next to them. What do you do?
I'm coming down with a quarterstaff.
With a quarterstaff on their head.
Non-fatally though, trying to just knock them out.
Okay. Okay. They have an AC. Go ahead and roll your attack.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going reckless.
I feel like jumping up and falling down from the ground is pretty reckless. I assume you aren't raging.
Oh, no, I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come down and do just hit them on top of the head, and they immediately fall forward for a second and go oh, and now are trying to scramble away. You have your second attack though.
Can I try and just restrain them, pin them down?
Yeah, you can grapple them.
Yeah, I'll grapple them.
Make an athletics check.
Is this a attack or is it just a?
So a grapple check, we make a opposed athletics check.
Okay, so do I get an advantage on this if I'm doing it? Am I recklessly grappling?
I'll say sure. I'll say okay. Yes, good job. They get they even rolled really well. They got a 20, but it's not going to beat a 25. So yeah, you have them restrained and they cannot move unless they break your hold. You're up now, Felix.
How far away is this guy from me? I'd like to run close to this dude.
If you you could use your action and bonus action to get there.
Okay, cool.
Or no, not action. You could use your movement and bonus action, so you would still have your action left.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna try and lasso this guy.
And what?
Lasso this guy.
Okay, you had a great try before. Do you have a second length of rope?
I mean,
make an investigation check to find some like rope that like you're around pens. It makes sense there would be some
there's
there.
gotta be a rope around. All right, investigation.
Yep, you find a length of rope that's actually already tied in a lasso. Amazingly,
God, that's so lucky.
So you try to lasso this guy. Let's see. I gave you sleight of hand last time, so are you trying to lasso him from a distance or trying to like put it over him as he's grappled?
I guess, I mean, from a distance, I would imagine.
From a distance, I'll have you make a range attack roll from up close. Yeah, so
that would be.
It would just be a dexterity check. I don't feel like you're proficient in lassos.
That's fair.
Hey, as AC 16, you lasso this motherfucker and pull it tight.
And I hand the rope to Christopher because he's a lot stronger than me.
Okay.
Pull him in.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, this guy's going to get one try to break free and needs roll a strength check with advantage, Christopher, because you are holding a lassoed man. Oh.
Hell yeah.
He's
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he got an 18, still a pretty good roll. He gets lassoed, and you just like full suplex him behind you and knock him out. The guy is incapacitated and cannot move anymore. So, with that,
my new move,
and now he's unconscious. Now the boar that like had been trampling and doing that, and the one remaining thing goes completely docile again, and kind of like people are able to wrangle it very easily. The few that were trying before, able to wrangle it down, get it tied up, and they take the other one. Like everything seems to have calmed down. The wolves that have been assumingly chasing this fey deer come back. There's no blood, like the deer didn't actually exist, so they come back and kind of know and kind of like sit down and lay in the pen, and they all get kind of wrangled back up and taken to one of the more permanent pens in town, away from the chaos that is still going on in the stands. Belle, what are you doing? There are 2 ogres and 3 other kind of attackers here.
And people are people fighting them? Yes, some people are.
Yes. So there's like 1 or 2 fighters. The leader. Jesus Christ! Why can't I remember their names? Starts with an M.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
he's fighting,
whoever's.
But he's been telling people to like get the elderly and the others to safety, as he's kind of like him and like 2 others that are well enough armed are fighting.
Yeah, balance between, I mean, whatever's kind of closest to me, I run towards like the people that are attacking, but I also make sure I'm trying to put myself between them and those that are fleeing.
Yeah, you're able to kind of like interpose, like kind of move them and get to where like you're trying to get to like to a place where this area can kind of flee behind you as opposed to running right through the trouble. Yeah, you imposed yourself there. There is a Goliath holding like a small battle axe that is just kind of wildly swinging at anything that it can get close to, and you are able to take your attacks on it. The 23 definitely hits. The 11, it like takes the first blow from this blade, but since it is a blunted blade, it doesn't quite hurt as much as it would if it had actually slashed through him, and it's able to like kind of like pin the second attack, not let you get it away far enough to like do damage with the second one. But immediately it looks very hurt and going but still engaged and ready to do that. With that, the rune marked will take his 2 attacks. Those are both going to hit. Those are both going to take these. Yeah, so as this guy's pinned against you, you see the rune mark come with a spear and just drive it through the head of this Goliath that you have, that kind of has your blade pinned, and pins them to the ground and pulls it out and is standing next to you and just gives a nod and says, "Please help." Or no, he kind of like just like spurs you on and says, "Come on." And with that kill, he allows you to move half your movement up, kind of like inspiring you to continue the charge.
Okay.
And you're able to get up to probably one of the ogres or one of the other smaller guys.
Yeah, another. Let's eliminate numbers first. Whatever the smaller guy is.
Okay. And with that, also inspired is Chonk, who comes in and just lays a fist into the guy that you just approached to. Chonk takes 4 strikes with his fists.
Chonk is like the doctor. I forget his name off the top of my head. Only we like him.
Swinton's. Chonk lays in with his 4 fists. Only one of them hit.
I can't wait to hear some Chonk stories. Like, he's got to have some more stories, right?
Chonk deals a total of 4 damage as he like the first 3 hits are body shots, and this strong like half orc kind of stands up, looks down, laughs, and then the last one just clocks him across the jaw, and you do see like a tooth pop out, and Chonk just like gives a silent like fist pump to himself. Okay, that will finish their turn. The orcs, there's 4 people left. They're each going to take an attack. I'll let you guys actually do this. Roll. Everyone roll a d20. You want high. Oof, oof. Oof. Three of the kind of like surprise people that are staying and trying to fight with their leader fall, unknown dead or not, but 3 fall. And you probably have maybe like 2 more, and then the 3 of you against these 2 ogres and these 2 other guys. So that's back to you, Thel.
Yeah, this closest guy, I'll just,
He just got punched in the face.
I keep envisioning myself, like, not really loving the shield because I don't really use it. Just Captain America throwing it at somebody. So it's going to be this guy.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we'll say, like, as you're running up after being directed by him, you get that. The Captain America shield. Make a dexterity-based attack roll. So just roll dexterity plus proficiency. So what it'd be +1 +3, so +4. D20 +4.
Nope, that was 4d20.
Whoa, that was 4d20. That was a 1, 2, 2, 4. Good thing you got those out of the cloud. I think just dice are just stuck in the cloud and they just pull one out. Yeah, an 11, the shield just goes over the guy's head.
Okay.
And it doesn't bounce back to you because it's just.
Oh yeah, no, it just is gone. Yeah.
It actually breaks behind you, but you have your second attack as you approach them.
I guess what I could have. Yeah, I'll just take that one. But next time I could, because I threw the shield, I would have swung with one hand. But next time I can two-hand the sword.
Yes. I will say though, remember you can divine smite with any weapon if you wanted to do more. This is a reminder. Just because the button's not on these weapons, so if you wanted to pump something more into it, you could. But
what does it cost me? Does it cost me anything?
Cost you whatever level
second. Expend one spell slot. Okay. Not quite yet, but yes,
okay.
I will.
So this guy now took the flat end of a blade to the upper arm, or not flat end, but the blunt end of a blade, and is looking pretty bad. But the Rune Mark leader will take his 2 attacks on one of the ogres that seems that is over to your left. One of them will hit, and he is hurt. He will look over towards. I guess let me roll the actual damage for that. They caught the blubbery section of the ogre and kind of fell, but he'll look at Chunk and give him a commander strike to do this. He hits. He does 10 points of damage and knocks the guy that you had just hit fell out. So you're down to one other guy and the 2 ogres. With that, it is continuing to be Chong's turn. He's going to, this time he has used all of his key points, so he is only going to take 2 attacks at the, I guess he has one more. He's going to take 4 attacks at this other Orog that's attacking people. Gets a natural 20, a 19, and an 18, and a 3. So he is going to roll a total of 1, 2, 3. He deals a total of 19 points of damage to this other guy as he just comes up and just boxes his face like a speed bag, and the guy goes down. So all that's left are the 2 ogres. What do you do, Thel? You're able to close them. Oh, I guess they should roll. There's 2 left. Roll. 2 people roll a d20. You want high numbers. Or roll 1, because one of them's engaged. Okay, Christopher rolled 1, so no one is killed this time. Like you see one of the there are no helpers, it's just one of the bystanders is able to escape. TJ's doesn't matter, so it's fine. Thel, you're back up. 2 ogres, one's engaged with the Rune Mark, the other one is not.
We'll go at the vacated one.
The one that's by himself?
Yeah.
Okay, go up and make your 2 attacks. Let's see. Manzy. I have to see what a ogres have a low AC. I know that, but I don't know if it's that low. Oh no. Did our neighbor's kid cut off his hair? Oh Lord. Oh, he has an AC of 9. So both of those hit. Yeah, so 20 points, but these are much hardier than the guys that you were fighting. So the unengaged ones, so yeah, takes 21 points of damage though. So but is now engaged. For the sake of brevity, you guys have this in hand. There's just going to be one more roll of if anyone else dies. I guess go ahead, Fel. Go ahead and roll one more time. I should say high number, over 10. Actually, over 5 because everyone's engaged. Doesn't matter either way. So you guys are able to subdue these two. With the other people that come in and help, I would say no one's going to be taking these people alive. They are enraged and killing these people. So you just see Chonk just beating face, just taking people to town. But the kind of as this happens, people have kind of cleared out and have run back to home and that, but things are like kind of a brief aftermath of battle. What do you guys do? We'll say you guys all regroup. You, Christopher and Felix are running up from the pens with Gishak, who is, kind of left the beast to be taken by their caretakers, and so it's kind of the three of you, and then Chonk and Morgron are all kind of standing there. As
plop
some
down.
of the other, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna plop down the unconscious guy in front of Deshaun.
Okay. Yeah, you guys carry them and you say, perfect. Please, let's bring them to the Comtalk. We must hurry and ensure that there's no other fighting going on in the actual town. And you guys run towards town. Unless there's anything you want to do here to investigate or anything like that. You do see they're probably looking around, maybe like brief look at what you did, probably like 25 unconscious or dead bodies strewn across the ground throughout this entire field. Excluding the ones that that you dispatched. So whatever happened here was not good.
Just head back to. We gotta make sure there's not more fighting.
Yeah. So you guys head back to town. It was like, it's not close, but it's not far. Kind of like that middle distance back down into town. And especially to that center square. You don't see anything on fire. You don't kind of yell. There's yells and things like that. There's people running back past you to kind of go try and tend to the injured that are there. And you see people pulling sleds and things like that to tend to that. And but you get down to the center square and you do see a huge circle of people standing there looking at that giant intricate mural that, or not mural, but the big thing. What's the word? It's a statue in honor of Cord, the shield and the lightning bolts and the big stone ring around that, and people are doing that, and the two rune marked run in, and at this time it seems Shoma has come back kind of limping, having already been pretty beat up from you guys. Comes and limps into the circle, and you see on the on that monument, there's the word I was looking for, monument, is a big bloody and there is a body standing in front of it, one or two kind of strewn in this central square, bloody circle eye with drops coming below it, and above it written in Orcish is the word war, defacing this monument to Cord. Perfect. And that's it. That is it for that. And everyone kind of is taken aback by this. And the two leaders kind of stand in front, stare at it, and shout and point and start speaking in Orcish to people. You understand this, Christopher, like telling people to get this cleaned up, and that those older in the community meet in the comm talk post haste. And he signals to you to join as well. We'll do that. I need to eat something real quick, and then we'll go back to that. So 5-minute break if you want it. Sorry about that. I was getting shaky. And I couldn't think of that guy's name for a solid hour, so I feel like I should eat something. Okay. So you guys were just kind of beckoned to join the community and the 3 rune mark into the Contalk. What do you guys do? Do you follow? Do you skedaddle? Do you?
I think we follow. What else are we gonna do? Leave town?
Just fucking bail. Okay, yeah. So you guys get there. If you want to, you can go get your equipment and start getting all set back up, or leave that there. But people start filing in to the building. You see the owners, the human man and his wife, who had been helping you, who had checked you in before and had taken your horses and set you up with a room, kind of like hurriedly pouring drinks and people, and like ordering some other people that come in to help make food, kind of like in that full crisis mode. Let's get people fed and supported in those types of needs while we try and figure out what the hell just happened. So soon, as people start gathering in, all of you guys make perception checks as you kind of stand with your, drink or food. Oh yeah, by the way, Carrick just comes strolling in, like blood on his face, like a little singe marks all over him, but he kind of like gives a like, we're good. and he says like, but I don't have anything left. Like kind of gives you that, like whatever he was dealing with was pretty much all of his spells. Thel, you're probably kind of more still in your military mind right now, like what do we do next, doing that, and so you don't notice, but Christopher and Felix, you immediately notice like everyone in this room is giving you guys side eyes, like, and you kind of hear whispers, especially because you can understand Orcish, Christopher, that like what is it a coincidence these newcomers come distract us and we are attacked? It's too much. And then like those whispers start going around the room, and it slowly but surely becoming kind of like a general discussion, and then kind of some shouts are happening about who is responsible. And but before it gets too far, the leaders stand up. Morgan shouts just kind of like a silence, and bangs the spear that he had been using out there on the ground, and everyone is quiet. And he's like, I hear what you are saying, but these strangers threw themselves to our aid. Many more, including myself, may have met their end had they not been here. We know the true culprit here. Jaruk and his Jezzaraz. If this is a sign of things to come, we must unite and prepare, not squabble over some petty outsiders. But tonight we mourn and tend to the fallen. And everyone kind of goes. The conversation continues. Shoma stands up, and you haven't actually heard her talk at all, but she says, I am gathering scouts to head out. We'll follow and see if, in fact, we will be attacked further by the Jezzaraz. We must know it's coming. And a bunch of people like stand up and like offer up, and after like probably like 15 people kind of go out with Shoma. Seems to be maybe like some of her hunters in that go out, and they start heading out. Especially now, because you guys didn't know this, but kind of the whispers going around the room is with Yashak being dead, they are kind of out of their military leader. Not military, but kind of like the head of the guard, of the scouts, of that. So Shoma's kind of stepping in to be the de facto leader in there, you assume. You're still being eyed by many people. And after a little bit, Ungarak approaches you and asks you to gather your things and to meet her at the Storm Hall. Before doing that, she said she'll give you a few minutes, but is there anything else you all want to do before doing that?
I mean, yeah, just do we get any type of rest, like short rest, or no time?
I'll say over the next little bit, when you're just talking, we can consider it a short rest. So you guys can go ahead and take a short rest. If you are hurting at all.
And then I armor up, maybe.
Yeah, you guys are given time. You can go get your armor, get all your normal stuff packed up, but you definitely get the distinct thought that you are not totally welcome here right now and mistrusted by most everyone. Even though you have the word from the leaders, you are, persona non grata.
My short rest button isn't working, so what do I do?
Here, I'll hit this short rest button. You can do that.
All right.
The owner, as they see you gathering your stuff, the owner says, "Oh, I have your horses stabled out down the street. If you need them, feel free to take them and go. If you need to leave some here, we obviously can use them, but they are yours to take. Just let me know, and I can accompany you to pick them up." And gives you that just so you guys don't forget your horses, because that is a classic D&D thing, is to just take your horses somewhere and say it's a one-way trip. So if you guys head to the Storm Hall, Ungarak is kind of like sitting there at a chair, just kind of contemplating as you guys enter. And she beckons you forward. There's some, kind of chairs in front of where, it's all one level. It's not like they're sitting up above you, but they're in just a bigger chair, and they kind of beckon to some other chairs that have been set up, and just kind of is rubbing their eyes. Says, we gave you have, I as you approached here, I told you must prove yourself, and obviously you have done that, so I will give you the information that you've come requesting. You are obviously not welcome here right now by those of the community that see you as a bad omen of the events that happened here today. And we need time to take care of our own and rebuild and figure out what is next for our community if we pack up and start to leave, as it seems Jaruk is finally taking his time now to exact some sort of vengeance for whatever transgressions he thinks we have done. But as promised, and as you have proven yourselves, I will share a story with you. A story leading you to what it seems you are looking for. Now, a lot of words that I wrote at 11 o'clock. There was once a time when all of the Orc tribes worshipped Grumsh, One Eye, who you had seen today. God of slaughter. However, ruin fell onto the world when the betrayer gods and the prime deities fought. Many of us found Cord and sought a more rude life and strength in competition. Found our strength in our community. As such, Bahamut, the strong-headed, unmoving priest that he is, she says with a wink to you, Fel, finally accepted Cord and put aside his long feud, having always believed Cord too chaotic and always riding a fine line between what's good and right. As an apology, Bahamut built a forge for Cord's followers here, where Cord's guidance built a community. And in respecting Cord's tenets, created trials to prove your worth to reach its inner anvil. Few have reached and or returned from the forge, and none in my life. But there are stories of the trials that await. First, a maze and trek through the mountains to test your fortitude. Then a race through the forge itself as the defenders pursue you. And finally, a battle, as is in Cord's favored fashion, with the guardian of the anvil, before you are able to use it to what ends you may have. So, any questions there? She then directs you east about 2 days. You'll be funneled into the Gorge of Faces, and then to a valley. From there, head north, and against a sheer stone wall raising hundreds of feet, you'll find the entrance that you seek. So, with your info in hand, shortly after that, that story was the very abridged version. It's probably been about a half an hour as you sit there and talk, ask questions back and forth about these things. Morgron enters to gather. Ungarak says, and thanks you all, and as Ungarak said, but asked you to leave, at least for now. He gives you he approaches you, especially Fel, and gives you like the cool forearm handshake and says, "Thank you for your aid. I do not know what would have befallen our community. I do not know what would have befallen our beasts or our elders." And looks at Carrick, who's just sitting there with his big old wizard hat. Carrick is always just, I think he's the funniest person in the room because he looks like fucking Merlin.
And like in a conversation like this, he's just like standing slightly too far away and probably just zoned out, just sitting there, just looking weird as fuck.
Yeah. And it says, perhaps upon your return, we can call on your aid in avenging those that we lost today. Until there, be safe, and may the Storm Lord guide you. He says, come, Ungarak, we have much work to do. And they both leave, escorting you out of the Storm Hall. It is nighttime now. There are fires burning. You can see in front of the monument that is in the center of the court, there's a giant bonfire that you realize is probably being prepared as a funeral pyre, and people are coming down from the area with the fallen to be that. You do see though that some very wounded. Not everyone that's being brought down is dead. Some are just on sleds being helped, going through like kind of the muddy, snowy ground. Yeah. What do you guys do? It is nighttime, and you have been asked to leave this town.
I guess we're gonna leave.
Yeah, I think we move at least off and past a little ways past the tree line, and probably tiny headed up. And
yeah, I mean, I saw you guys fighting against those two dudes. Not good. Against all of them.
You want to take on this town? I don't think Scott realized how strong those people were. Well, I
Get some lucky
realized how
shots in. Lucky shots.
What was? I had 2 temporary hit points too from I don't even was it like a muffin or something?
yes.
That almost was the difference too.
No.
Cut down to
It
4,
was-
but
I could have dropped one. It was I just used a regular stat block that allowed them to rage for one. But then I realized in that stat block they do double damage for their weapon. So all weapons you roll 2d8s for instead of 1d8, and that is the difference. So a critical hit on that critical hit did because they're half work 6d8 damage.
yeah, it's
So yeah, that's the critical hit is what it's one of the reasons the new version of D&D, they're changing it that monsters can't get criticals, and people don't know how they feel about it. I don't like it, but that's a discussion for another day. Okay, so you guys head out. You guys have been told to head east.
People don't
And
get legendary actions, so I think that's the whole point, right?
yeah, it's there. Yeah, I get the balance of it.
Sorry, don't want to derail.
No, I can talk about some of the rule changes for a while, but and I haven't even watched some of the rule changes for classes are absolutely insane. You can create a monk that like at level 2 can do 12d6 damage, but also min-maxing all that. Let's see. So yeah, you guys head east. Probably before you're pretty tired, but you can get a solid like maybe 3-5 miles out of town, tiny hutted up, go to bed. Everyone can rest, recoup everything. Nothing else happens throughout this night. However, I would say though, during this travel and kind of like when you sit down, looking at the map that you had, though, everything after that explanation from Ungarok, it all kind of makes sense now. Like you can like follow this map exactly, and it's like the way that they described it is pretty easy. And you think like using this map and how they described it, like you're gonna have a hard time not eventually making it to where you are. But what is kind of weird that's still not explained is that the bottom half of the map is totally blank. So it's like, here's the like map of where you're going, and here's just this blank part. And above that blank part, it says, may the light of justice guide you through chaos. So that's something just kind of, now checking your map, that is just something that I didn't describe much longer ago. You have no idea what that means, but there's that. And it could go with the top part of the map, it could go with the bottom part of the map, but the bottom part of the map is completely blank.
Okay, I have some thoughts,
Okay.
but we'll see what we encounter when we get to the forge. If anything illuminates that.
Oh, on the nose. Yeah, so the next morning comes, the snow has not fallen. And it's actually kind of weird. It's after this, you'd think that, the storm is seen as this auspicious event. Thunder still rolls, but looking at the sky, you don't see any lightning. It's just thunder. But they're loud enough thunders to where you definitely think you should see lightning. So just kind of a weird thing that's happening. And snow seems to be coming down a bit harder. Not enough to like truly impede progress, but it is definitely snowing at an amount that is noticeable. So as you guys continue, I need someone to roll a D20 survival check. Just not a D20. Just roll a survival check. You have your map, so the things are very low, but I need one person to roll the survival check, and they're leading the thing, and then another person to roll kind of as the watch. So looking around.
All right.
Christopher, throwing down. You look at this map, and you say, I know exactly where I'm going. What's your perception bonus? Roll perception check, Phil, instead. We'll say it can't be lower than 12 because I'm pretty sure your perception. Nope, it's the same. Yeah, you guys are going across this way, and actually, with that natural 20, you're able to like surmise. Christopher, looking at the map and the directions you've given, you can probably knock off half a day from this. Especially with the weather being shitty, like half a day sounds pretty good to cut off. So you kind of
Christopher feels at home back in the snow, trudging.
Yeah, back in the snow in the mountains. It is its favored terrain essentially. And so you start cutting across, and as you cut across this, Fel, you do notice kind of, and these are like tall pine trees that you're going through. It's not a thick forest, but definitely like that tall tundra pines. The horses are able to get through fairly well. Like it's not like when you were going through the Savalier Wood where you had to like go around big areas of such gnarled roots and didn't want the horses to get injured. But you do notice kind of like in a break in the tree line, a stone structure off probably less than a quarter mile, probably like 600 feet off to the so you're heading straight east, so probably about 600 feet to the south. You notice a stone structure as you're moving through here.
Stone chairs mess with us, so.
It's not a stone, it is definitely a building.
Oh, okay.
It is not a weird stone monolith. It is not the monolith from 2001.
Let's go check that out.
Yeah. If you want to, you guys can. Yeah, if you head that way, and even like you just approach, or does someone want to go up ahead and try and see it? You're probably at this point about, I'd say about 20 miles away from the city.
Check it out. No, stick together.
Yeah, let's stick together on this one.
Okay.
Normally I'd scout ahead, but I'm cold.
I'm cold. Oh, by the way, did you bring all of your horses? Because you technically have 2 extra horses.
Yeah.
That you were just using for provisions. You brought all of them?
Yeah.
I mean, we were kind of kicked out, so I think
They kicked us and our horses out.
I think we would have taken everything.
Okay. I just need to know that for future. Yeah, so you guys do it's a small clearing. It's like not really done out. There is a small pen for, it seems, beasts of burden. Although the place seems abandoned, especially with the fresh snow. There's no tracks really, or I guess as you approach, someone can helm a survival check as you approach. Everyone, as you approach, is there anything you want to do as you approach?
Maybe I'll throw another trick at it.
Okay, get a bag of trick to go out ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're about maybe like 70 feet in kind of the wood line. Is there anything else anyone else wants to do from there?
I assume we'd have Owl maybe flit up to give us perspective.
Owl died last night, and Carrick has not had a chance to revive.
Okay, no live Owl.
We got another badger to go ahead.
Okay. Badger going through. There's probably about like a solid like 3-4 inches of snow on the ground. So do badgers hibernate? I assume they do.
No idea.
But it's jumping, it's just walking around. the other two of you, is there anything you want to do as you sit around? Do you just send the badger to just go kind of like walk around the area?
Yeah, just see if anything snatches it up before we get there.
Yeah, nothing really snatches it up. It just kind of goes around. Or I guess let me see if something snatches it up. Nope, nothing snatches it up.
Some random thing.
Yeah. Roll
We're
a
just
die.
out in the woods.
Roll a die to see if some dire eagle comes and snatches it up and flies away. Yeah, if not, if you sit there, you guys might just sit there, let the badger walk around for a while, and then it's probably been like 25 minutes. Nothing really happens. You don't see anyone going in and out. You don't see any like signs of occupancy. So yeah, it's just it looks very, very similar to the tower as you approach town that you had met Shuxal. Yeah. Which, by the way, everyone make a just retroactive as you guys were leaving perception check.
Thel is so dumb.
His brain was elsewhere. Mansy, guys. Yeah, you guys. You can only wonder what happened to Shuxal or anyone else. You have no clue. You didn't see him in the room. You didn't see him, but you weren't necessarily looking. So, but Chonk, Chonk saw you guys out on the way as you left, and gave you a thumbs up and said later. Chonk will remember you. Anyways, yeah, so you have this tower in front of you. Anything he wants to do? Right, do you enter? Do you run away?
We're gonna go on the tower.
Yeah, it is
Can I knock?
definitely very reminiscent. You guys actually probably are towards the end of your day. This could be kind of where you bed down for the night. Especially because you gain time, you know that you can, still get there in, or at least how it was described, to where you were going in the same amount of time, and kind of take it a little easier today, not go far. You can have real cover if you want to. If you want to keep going, you can get there wherever you're going earlier. But yeah, you go in. It looks like as you go in, whoever wants to it just looks like a guard tower. It has kind of an upper floor with a couple beds on it, but also in those beds there's like a weapons rack and kind of some parapets to look through in case something attacked. There's a ladder up to the roof with a hatch that you could kind of see further out and about if you wanted to. So that's kind of immediately what's seen, unless you do something else.
I think I'll go check out the upper level and see what I can see around us.
Okay, go up there and make a perception check.
Oh God. You're on a vision quest here, Thel. Let's be perceptive. Okay, well.
The snow's coming down a bit too hard for you to see much. Probably the only thing you can see is, because it's pretty obvious, is as you head east, things kind of do shift and everything is funneling down to this singular gorge. That's all you can really see, which kind of aligns with what you were told as you left the left town. Anything anyone else wants to do? Are you guys going to make camp here, or are you going to keep trudging on?
At the tower?
Yeah.
Let's camp at the tower.
Yeah, you're pretty close to camp time. You could probably get 1 or 2 more hours of travel if you wanted, but as Felix said, he's cold.
I would like a fire, and I would like Christopher to cook something with this fancy meat I got.
Okay. Christopher can cook something. Or I assume Christopher cooks something.
Oh yeah.
This is a constant assumption. And Felix, is there anything else you want to do as he's cooking? Thel's upstairs, kind of doing his vision quest. Maybe this is when Thel is looking at his map and just trying to figure things out.
And it just doesn't make sense.
I just wish I had more
because
drugs.
he's just dumb.
What? You wish you had more drugs? Is that
I don't have anything. Yeah, that is what I said, but I don't have anything good to do right now.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing you could do is investigate if you want. So,
how tall is the tower?
The tower is probably what I said, 2 floors, so 18, probably about 25 feet tall.
And I'm just gonna go. Is there? You said it was like cloudy and shit, right?
Yeah, and Thel's already up there, kind of doing that. You could investigate the inside. You could investigate the area to see if it's. Okay,
we good.
We good. Okay. What do you make, Christopher? There is a dining table. There's kind of like some books and some notes. Everything is slightly dusty, but not very dusty. So, what are you making, Christopher?
And those, when they do the Kobe beef, right? They do those little cubes or something. I don't know. It's maybe some beef Wellington, but moose Wellington.
Moose Wellington. So you're gonna make some bread. You're going to wrap it.
Something
you're making
like that, yeah.
a nice meal here. So let's say, okay. First you have to stoke the fire. You get the fire going. Carrot kind of helps you light it. You can have as much fire as you want. Make a make a cooking check for your cubed beef Wellington in an abandoned tower.
With strength, yes.
You do believe that you got a little overzealous with this idea. Now this might have been just like a good stew night, and you're like, I need it to be hot. I need to get hot, and you got things too hot. You burnt the hell out of the bread, and then the bread being burned didn't allow enough heat to get into the meat, so the meat's underdone.
Man.
Just a classic goof 'em up where you sear too hard and undercook the middle.
I think Felix he took a bite and just kind of like, don't want to ruin Christopher's confidence.
Don't want to ruin. Carrot kind of turns around and zaps the middle of his, microwaves it. It's good. While you're cooking, make a perception check.
All right.
A 20. You actually think you have something to blame this cook on. As your hammer had been sitting there next to the fire, you could clearly see heat being siphoned off of the where you were cooking onto the hammer, a clear those visible heat lines that you see off the freeway or on top of a fire, off of a campfire, are being drawn into the center of your big hammer.
What if I just stick the whole thing in there, right in the middle of the fire?
You stick it right in, kind of frustrated. We'll say after the dinner, and kind of frustrated as everyone was obvious. Or make an insight check.
All right, they loved it. This went over perfect.
Was choice.
I'm making this again. Yeah, saving this.
No. Or I don't know. How would you play it? Would it be that you thought it was great, or you knew everyone hated it so much
they were
just being nice, so you're pissed?
Oh no, they're eating the same thing. I'm making this. I'm not changing a single thing for the next week.
Okay.
We're eating shitty ass.
Yeah,
I like to think Christopher has instead of his intelligence, it's not photographic memory, but he can remember exactly how much of everything he uses when he cooks. So like if he wanted to replicate this exactly, he knows exactly how to do it.
Yep.
That's so funny.
And that is what you are going to do. You did great. This is on the short list docket. You're going to stock up on all this stuff next
So
time.
somebody just barfs it up.
Yeah. Until one time you get rotten meat and you realize you didn't cook it. But yeah, but you do that. You do notice like it doing that, and you're like kind of like, okay, well, what the hell? I'll mash down this raging fire with my hammer because obviously it seems to like heat or something. And you mash it down, mash it down, mash it down, mash it down, mash it down. It's down to like some super hot coals. And then like what you do notice as it gets down to the coal and the fire all kind of goes, the black like molten rock around it has cracks all through it that are glowing a bright red, and kind of this layer on the outside, because it was like a very like square hammer, it now like bends into like some things flake off, and there's like a more like design to it. There's more like you see a little bit of edging, a little bit of craftsmanship, that this is not just a hunk of rock put on the top of a hammer. And as such, as you pull it out, that you see this, what's most noticeable in the center of it is a glowing opal that used to just like, that's where the light came out when you turned the light on it, but there's now a glowing opal in the center of it, and a little bit of like this old rock has flaked away, and these veins of red go through it. And with that, something has happened to this weapon. I need to look up what happened to it because I'm half making it up, half going off something else. So it already has a +1 to it, right?
I don't know.
I think so. I guess I could bring it up. Shed bright light to 30 feet. Hold on, let me click your character. Your name is Christopher the Barbarian.
I'm gonna also just say I use my quarterstaff for firewood. Just to get rid of this.
You just broke the quarterstaff out of anger. That's why the fire got too big. No. Boop. Yep, you already get the +1. As you pull it out and you see this happen, the kind of fire licking off of it, and something has changed about it.
Okay. There.
By the way, you needed to, I guess I had said heat licking off it before, but yes, you did the right thing. You put it in a fire. Yeah, so you now have a better weapon, which now makes it almost equal to as good as the weapon you gave up for it. Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Good team. Bad team.
Do I know what it does? Or
It's exactly. You can look at it. It's exactly the same, except for now when you attack with it, it does 1d6 fire damage, as well on top of. It is essentially the fire version of Fell's sword.
nice.
So it really like pretty much is, except for it can also make bright light around it for 30 feet, and Fells can shoot a lightning bolt across the world.
Yeah, that sounds a little more useful then. I think most of us have dark vision too, right?
Dark vision has no. Yeah, actually, all of you guys can see in the dark in some capacity.
So I gotta bounce here. So
Yeah, no problem.
I gotta go.
I mean, that's kind of where we're gonna end, anyways. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna wake up at the end of this tower.
I'll hunker down.
Does before we have to leave, what's